All right, guys, welcome to Friday Field Notes. We're going to talk about dating apps today. All right, I know you guys are struggling on the dating apps because I also struggle on there, and I used to struggle even more. But now that I've kind of found my way through the apps, okay, I found a solution to my problem. I want to share that with you. And I also want to tell you that if you are having issues in the dating apps, don't worry about it. Real life keeps going. Okay, the girls are still out there. These matches here, getting matches is really not what it's set out to be. It's actually more of a headache than anything. All right, so don't worry about it. All right, we're going to talk about it, but I just want to say, do not worry if you're not getting matches. Yes, you can solve the issue for yourself. We're going to try to solve it here together. But once you solve the issue of getting matches, you're going to come across a new set of issues, a new set of problems that you might not want. Okay, I'm actually using my profiles as experiments at this point because the quality of women on there isn't great. Yes, there are a few good women out there, of course, on the apps, but the majority of the interactions are going to be lackluster. Let's just put it that way. So the first thing I want to address is the fact that if you're not getting matches, it's because you're not attractive to women, period. Your profile isn't attractive to women. So you're gonna have to fix that. There's this video that I did recently, which addresses the shirtless photo question. Should I have a shirtless photo? Should I not have a shirtless photo? If I do, how should I be posing? But that video there, that's the starting point. And in that video, I talk about the fact that once I did put a shirtless photo on there, it blew up my account. It totally blew up my matches and conversations and super swipes, whatever the term is. There's women, giving me compliments and etc. Which I was honestly not expecting. I was not expecting for it to 10x. I mean, that's what happened. It 10x the matches. But it is what it is. Women like something that that you need to show on your profile, and that is you need to look good. Okay, we're talking about a dating app that's on your phone. It's all visual. Just like we swipe right only on the good-looking women that we want to pursue, so do they. They only swipe right on the men that they are attracted to. So you must become that man. So that's a whole different topic that we can't really dive into right now on this Friday Field Notes. But I will say, get your nutrition on point, lose excess body fat, build some muscle, groom yourself properly, and dress well. I mean, that's really the cornerstone of looking good. But if you have other issues when it comes to attractiveness, you can always overcome that with obviously money, with communication skills, with charm. There's a lot more you can do as a man. It's not just looks. But when it comes to dating apps, they're basically looking at the way you look. All right. Status is also a thing. Of course, we can talk about that another day. But right now we're going to focus on looks, right? So you want to get your profile to be something that women are attracted to. All right. That shirtless photo obviously only comes in handy if you're in good shape. So you're going to have to put in the work. I think it's always better. I always recommend my guys that they, instead of going on dating apps as they are right now, especially if they're not confident in their physical form and, of course, the way that they communicate and all that, they're better off putting in the work for 3, 6, 12 months and then getting on the app. Okay? Because what's the point of getting on there when you're going to get no matches? And if you do match, they're going to ghost you, and it's not going to be a positive experience for you. So you're better off putting in the work, getting into good shape, at least moderately good shape, where you can at least lose the body fat and develop the V taper at least, right? Shoulder to waist ratio. And, dress well and take some good pictures and write an interesting bio, and that's it. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing I want to address in this Friday Field Notes, only because I did travel last week, is there's a small I don't want to call it a hack, but something that I realized that I want to share with you. In my city, where I live right now, I live in a large city, known for beautiful women, probably known to have the most beautiful women in the United States. You can guess where that is in the comments. Guess where I am. In this city, I would get, with my shirtless photo, the very important shirtless photo, I would get 1 or 2 matches per day if I'm actively on the app, which I try not to be honest with you. Fucking hate being on there swiping. I really do. But I do this as an experiment. Honestly, this is kind of where I'm at right now with my content. I want to make sure that I can give enough value to you guys. So I am experimenting on the apps for that reason. So I went from 1 to 2 matches a day here in this major city. And then last week, I traveled to a much smaller city, a few hours away. Not just a city, almost like a small town. That has a very nice, like a nice area, like high-end luxury restaurants and stores. It's a good town. It's a nice town. It's small, but it's a nice town. I could not believe the amount of likes and matches that I got while I was there. And I had a conversation about this with my sister, and it's obvious, but we just had to talk about it. It's the fact that the competition as a man is very steep in these large cities. Whereas if you go to a smaller town and you've put in the work, you look good, you are confident and all that. Excuse me for 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Where was I? So yeah, in this small town, I got a bunch of likes, like over 100 likes. I mean, 100 is like the max. It just says 100 plus, I think. And I got a bunch of matches. All right. I will say the quality of the women was obviously not the same. There were some cute girls out there. And I also had to kind of increase my date range a little bit, my age range for the filters. But I was very surprised. I got like 10 matches per day, relatively good looking women while I was there. So that's a small little, I guess you can call it a hack. Like if you travel around, use the dating apps. If you put in the work and you look good and you feel good and you have confidence and you can stand out a little bit in your town, in your bigger city. If you go to a smaller town, but of course, granted, the smaller town must have beautiful women, just at least some. You can't expect anything to come out of a very small town that is not really, where there are no women. But if you can do that, take advantage of it. I mean, I did. I pursued some of those matches, and we're having conversations, and I do travel to that city a couple times a year. So I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And then lastly, when it comes to dating apps and this experiment so far, I will say dating apps, I don't like them. I honestly don't like. I do like the in real life, cold approach, etc. I really do prefer that. The dating apps, it's really just hit or miss when it comes to the communication part. And I've learned through studying the data, the reason why women, for the most part, are kind of flaky on dating apps, unless they're really into you. Like out of the, let's say 20, 30, or 40 matches that I'll get from that trip, I mean, I can go back right now and look. Only 10 are still active. Like I still have active conversations with only 10. Out of those 10, I think 1 or 2 are from here, from my local city. But out of the 30 or 40 matches, only, let's say 8 are still active. So what happens is a good-looking woman will match with you. They'll send you a hi or hey. That's really all they're going to send you for the most part. At least most of them. There are a few that go above and beyond and they try to get your attention, or they're straightforward with what they want right off from the first sentence. That does happen as well. But you're going to get a hi and a hey. All right. And then sometimes, in order for you to respond, if you're a smart man that is analytical, you're going to go back to their profile and you're going to kind of review it because you probably swiped fairly quickly based on that first photo and based on how good they looked. So you go back to the profile and you try to figure out where you want this conversation to go. So you have to figure that out. And then once you do, you send them a message. Some of them won't respond to the next day. Then you get busy and you don't respond to the next day. And then what happens is, based on the data, a good-looking girl in a major city that you match with is also going to match with over 100, possibly over 100 guys, if not way more. I really don't know. But I know that based on what I've seen out there and the few women that I have asked about this, they do match with hundreds and hundreds of men. So when they start a conversation, all right, they might start 20 or 30 conversations at the same time. And what happens is your conversation might fall like too far down on your matches or your chats, okay? And that's how the conversation fizzles off. Because it happens to me. Like, there's this Natasha, right? She's all the way at the bottom. I honestly haven't looked down there in like 2 days. It's still there. And then on the top, I have the ones that I'm actively, texting with. And then the system puts up some of the ones that are about to expire that I kind of didn't really want to pursue. So I got one expiring in 6 minutes. Should probably answer. I'm going to answer with a hey. I'm going to throw it right back at them. But yeah, so you can't take this shit too seriously, to be honest with you. All right, guys? If you're not getting any matches and you want matches, okay, self-improve and figure it all out. Absolutely. Watch that video, okay? Watch the video on the shirtless photo. But honestly, if you're not getting matches and you are putting in the work, you're going to the gym, you've improved your nutrition, you've done some mindset work where you've set your standards and set expectations for yourself and those around you. You're running a business or you want to start a side gig and you're very dedicated to your job. If you're putting in the work, honestly, I don't think you should be on dating apps. If you're putting in the work, you should have absolutely no problem attracting women physically in real life. And that, honestly, is the way to go. All right, so today on Friday Field Notes, that's really all I have. I don't have a physique update because I'm not going to take my shirt off. I did weigh myself. I'm up like a pound or two, so I have been putting on some muscle. I'm still lean. I think I took a video this morning, so I'll put it over here, I guess. I'll put the video here or picture, whatever I can find from today, I'll put it up there. I'm feeling good. I ran a mile today. I probably shouldn't be running, like the doctor said, not to run, but I can't help myself. I need to challenge myself. And also, this is Friday Field Notes, and I want to let you know that I did record a full-length show that will be released on Tuesday. It's going to be a weekly show. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, okay? But look out for it. It's going to come out on Tuesday. It's going to be published on Tuesday, and I'm going to publish one every Tuesday. The intention is that once I figure out how to go live, which I have no idea how to do right now, once I figure that out, it will probably be on Tuesdays. The live show will be on Tuesdays. So keep an eye out for that. I want to say thank you for sticking around to the end. If you made it to the end, let me know in the comments. I want to see how many of you guys are still here. And remember to subscribe. A lot of you guys are watching but are not subscribed. And also like, comment, and share. I do these every Friday. I try to give you some value. I try to give you an update. I would love to hear from you guys. Remember, on Friday Field Notes, I go back to the previous Friday Field Notes and read the comments, the questions. So leave a question on there if there's something you want me to address on Friday Field Notes or on the Tuesday show that we're starting this Tuesday. All right? That's it for today. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.